Okay, so good evening. It's Saturday the 11th, I think. So what have I been doing recently? I've been digesting the election results. So I've had over a week to think about it now, and I feel a little bit better actually. So when I got the results, obviously I was very upset. Um, there, there wasn't an expectation to win. I desperately wanted to win, obviously. Otherwise, I would never have put myself forward, and I certainly wouldn't have put so much effort into it if I didn't want to win. But I did think that the results would be closer than they are. I have looked at the other results, and there were 5 people standing in this ward. Other people didn't have that many people competing against them, and so my numbers were quite good overall. If I was really thinking about it like that, so I'm not as embarrassed or as ashamed as I was when I first got the results. I've also had time to speak to close friends and people that live in the area just to get some feedback. So I surround myself with people that are honest, sometimes brutally honest, but there's no point of me having friends that are just going to tell me what I want to hear, because that's not what a friend's supposed to do. A friend's supposed to be the one that's the voice of reason, and just to tell you how it actually is. So I've spoken to them about what they think I could have done better, because they know me, but they're also kind of watching as a voter, because not many of my friends are political, certainly not to the extent that I am anyway. And I never really considered myself as political until recently. So I've always been interested, and I've always been a community activist, like always. But I never considered myself to be too political until this last year or so. I didn't realise how much I love politics and the inner workings of government and local government and that kind of thing. So anyway, I've spoken to them about it, and the things that they think I'm doing well are my vlogs, my blogs, and just generally breaking down that idea of what a politician should be, or what they are, and to try and sort of add a human element to things. So I'm going to continue doing my vlogging and my blogging, and I'm going to start tackling sort of policies and things that I've read, sort of current affairs and that kind of thing, and maybe explain it in a normal way, because people go, oh, I don't vote because I don't know what I'm voting for, and so I want to maybe enable people to really get it, I guess, and realise that actually there's nothing scary about it. It's just politicians like to use phrases that will confuse everyone, and I don't have the vocabulary to confuse that many people, because I'm just a normal human being. So that's what I'm going to continue to do, and I'm going to try and vlog every day, every other day. If there's nothing that's particularly happened and it's all quite boring, then I'm not going to bother boring anyone with it. So my YouTube channel, I would like people to subscribe to, and build up from there. And I also want to be very honest about things as well, because I am a human being, and there's no point of me pretending I'm something I'm not. So there are going to be elements of it which are just honest. For example, so we might as well start now. I helped out at the Gainsborough Community Games today. I forgot what it was called then for a minute. So Gainsborough Community Games, that is part of so it's one of the projects on the Gainsborough Community People's Forum, which I'm attached to. I'm going to write a blog about the forum anyway, so people actually understand what it's about. So I went there today to help out. It's going to be every month, and the idea is that we engage in kids that are just basically just hanging around or have nothing to do on a Saturday, and they can pop round. So it's going to be the first Saturday of the month, but it was today because last week had to be cancelled. And they can just come down and they can play some sports and just have a couple of hours of free fun. And it was really good, actually. So we had quite a few teenagers. We had to go and approach them and say, do you want to come play rounders? But let me just adjust this chair. But it was good all the same, and it was quite fun. The only thing for me was that I was so keen on being part of it all, and you know, in order to gain the trust of the teenagers, you have to just be normal. So I was like, you know, come on, you know, boys versus girls, and we totally did that. And we had a few jokes, and I was like, oh, if you think you're good enough, are you gonna let this old lady beat you? And just a bit of banter going on, and it was good. But I kind of got sucked into them playing, which I thought I felt at the time I needed to do. But I have a disability. So I ignored that in order to like be part of it and to prove that I'm not limited. But as I was running, I was causing myself a lot of damage. And I could feel the pain as I was running. And I carried on, and the more I carried on, the more pain I was in. So I had to then leave a little bit earlier. And I came home and I was just so infuriated and so angry that my brain is more than capable, but my body just isn't. And so now my mobility is very limited tonight. The levels of pain I'm in are sky high. And it's like, was that worth it for an hour? Well, I didn't even play for an hour. And I've just got this tendency to do things like this, to say, right, okay, well, you know, in order to do this, I'm gonna lead by example, and I'm gonna be fully involved, and I'm going to prove everyone that I'm like the best person. And I don't really look after myself. And I think I'm so paranoid about people thinking that I'm not good enough that I then go the other way and try and like overcompensate. It would have been perfectly fine for me to be an umpire, for example, or make the drinks or something like that. But no, I had to play. And then I couldn't finish the game anyway, so I was probably a little bit useless towards the end. So that's frustrating. And I'm really conscious of people just feeling like seeing me as less than. And that's an internal struggle that I have all the time. So I'll push myself to my very limit, and then I'll cause myself a lot of damage. And I did that during the election as well. I was so conscious of people saying, oh, well, you know, she didn't come to my door, that I tried my hardest to get to as many doors as possible, and every night I was in pain, a lot of pain. And so I'm thinking I'm going to need to reassess how I am and how I see myself, maybe, and stop worrying about how others are going to see that. So like JFK, for example, I think I'm going off on a tangent, but JFK had a lot of back problems and he wore this back brace. But it wasn't common knowledge because he would be seen as less capable. And obviously people have used in the media Theresa May's diabetes as a reason for her not to be Prime Minister. So I'm very conscious that I know I'm more than capable of doing the jobs I put myself forward for. I'm more than capable of being a counsellor, like for sure. There's no shadow of a doubt that I would be a rocking counsellor. But I'm conscious that other people will see my disability as a weakness. And so I try then to prove like to try too much, if that makes sense. So I try too hard. I try like where everyone else gives, I don't know, 80% say, I will then give 100%, you know. I won't go over 100%, by the way, because you can't have 120%. It just drives me mad when people say I've given 120%, because it's just not possible. And I will give 100% to everything, even if that means that causes personal damage to me. So I need to really think about that, and I really need to just accept that if some people think that I'm not capable because I have physical limitations, then that's down on them and not me, and I need to stop trying to overcompensate for that. So that is the conclusion, is I participated in the community games, so I was giving back, but I lost sight of my true self and I overcompensated, and now I've ended up injuring myself. And the reason I'm including this in my blog today is because I need to be honest with myself, and by being honest with you, I hope that maybe that will help with people's perceptions and make me feel better in the long run about my own personal limitations. So if I put that out there, then there's no hiding from it, and I shouldn't feel the need to hide from it anyway, because it doesn't define me, it's just a part of me. So it's a bit of a long-winded one tonight. It's like, crikey, almost 12 minutes, but yeah, so that's kind of the update, and I'm going to try my best to keep focused and to keep ploughing through, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, so this is my first of hopefully a daily blog, but if I don't post a blog, it's because my day was utterly boring and not worth talking about, or I haven't thought of anything to describe or talk about or rant about or anything like that. So that's the plan going forward, and hopefully you guys will stick through, and maybe I can have a positive effect on our small society that is Ipswich. So good night, and I will speak to you tomorrow.